crisscross applesauce, legs out in front of you, whatever feels good. Just rest your hands on your knees. We're gonna do a little bit of breathing to get us kind of centered into our Pilates life today, and then we'll start to move. So eyes can be opened or closed, whatever makes you feel the most comfortable, but I want you to try to sit up as tall as you can. Maybe pull the flesh away from your sits bones or kind of wiggle around a little bit until you can feel your butt bones really anchored onto the floor underneath you. And then try to stack your head right on top of your shoulders, right on top of your hips as best you can. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, I want you to get every last little drop of air out of your lungs that you possibly can. Like squeeze it all out until you need your next inhale. And then inhale, try to grow a little taller through your spine. Try to keep that height in your spine as you exhale fully. We're just gonna do cleansing breaths today. So inhaling fully into the point where you can't even take any more inhaling in. And then exhaling to the point where you actually need your next inhale. Let's start to wake up the body, whether it be just mentally or through small motions. So on your next exhale, maybe roll your shoulders back a little bit. Make sure your sits bones are still grounded. Start to pull the belly button in. So as you exhale, try to draw and close the ribs towards each other, scooping your belly in up under your ribs. Give me one more nice big cleansing breath here. Take a nice big inhale and exhale out every last little drop of air that you can. Reaching your arms out to the side, sweep them up and overhead, and then open them back out wide. Let's do that a few more times. Just inhale to reach up, and as you exhale, lower down. One more here. Inhale, reach up and hold. Turn the palms to face forward, and exhale and scoop the belly round forward and just hang out there for a second. Make sure your butt bones are still anchored on the mat space. Take a big inhale. And exhale, roll your spine all the way up. Sweep your hands behind you, put them on the mat. Lift your heart into extension, and then we'll go through that whole flow again. Sitting up tall, reach the arms up with an inhale, palms face forward. Exhale, dive forward, scoop that belly in. Try to round your spine as much as you can. Inhale here, use the exhale to stack up, sweeping the hands behind you. Heart lifts proud. Look to where your collarbones are shining, not to your ceiling. And then one more time, sit tall, inhale, arms up, palms face forward. Exhale, scoop and round, and we're gonna stay here for a little extra breath. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, can you reach your arms a little further away from you, but still keep your sits bones anchored on the mat? Let's take one more breath here. Exhale, try to scoop the belly and get a little deeper into that stretch. And then inhale, sit all the way up. Exhale, take the arms back and find your extension. Here in extension, make sure that your hips are still heavy on the mat. Push down with your hands to lift your heart proud, as though someone was pushing right between your shoulder blades. And then sitting up nice and tall, send the arms out to the side for rotation. Start to twist from side to side, leaving your arms a little bit lower than your shoulders, almost like a V, upside down V position. And as you're doing this, try to take your gaze towards your back hand, taking an inhale through the center and exhaling to twist. Noticing if your knees or your hips are shifting on the mat, and as you're rotating from side to side, try to keep them nice and steady. On the next one here, twist to the right and hold, placing one hand down behind you, the opposite hand on the knee, and give yourself a little extra twist. Take another inhale, grow tall. Exhale, twist one more inch. Inhale through the center, let's go to the other side. Exhale, twist, put the back hand on the floor. Right hand on the outside of the knee, look to the back. And as you exhale, try to twist more. As you inhale, try to get taller. As you exhale, try to twist more. Coming back through the center, letting your arms come down. Right arm reaches up and over for a big lateral flexion. Take a nice big inhale. And as you exhale, come all the way up. Inhale to go over. And exhale to come up. Just start to move your spine from side to side. You can take that inhale to take you over, exhale up, or you can reverse the breath. Inhale here, exhale up and over. If you took my breath workshop, that's a great opportunity to open up those ribs towards the ceiling as you bend. Let's go about 5 more seconds here for 4, and for 3, and for 2. Well, there's my headband. And on 1, come down. Reach your arms out in front of you. Palms stay facing each other. We're going to do a little protraction and retraction of your shoulder blades. Try to reach your shoulder blades forward and back without letting your head move, without letting your posture change. Try to balance right on those sits bones, head over shoulders, over hips. Let's go 3 more here, and notice if your ribs are trying to move as you're isolating your shoulders, and try to keep them knitted together. Do 1 more here, bringing your shoulders back towards each other and down away from your ears. Keep them down as you send your arms up towards the ceiling, palms still facing each other for elevation and depression. And reach up and lower down. And up and down. Tendencies, you're going to want to bend the elbows, but this is a shoulder blade motion. Your shoulder blade glides 2. Don't go so big that your ribs start to stick out. And for 1, arms up, reverse. Sweep it back and around for 3. And for 2. Notice how much of your other parts of your body are moving and try to stay steady. Arms up, and then bring them down to take a rest. Lengthen your legs out in front of you for a little bit of work through those feet and ankles. Not too much like we did last time, just a little bit here. Open your feet just wide enough so you have about a fist distance of space and sit up nice and tall. Rest your hands wherever feels comfortable for you and just start to point and flex your feet. Remembering that a point and a flex really comes from the ankle joint. You're pushing the foot away and then pulling the foot back from the ankle. But I don't want you to forget about your feet. They're like your spine. Articulate your foot like you would your spine. So you're working your feet and your ankles through flexion, dorsiflexion, and plantar flexion. Let's go for 3 more here, sitting up nice and tall. And for 2. And for 1, flex the feet and hold. Make some big ankle circles for me. I want you to let the leg move a little bit. We're kind of oiling up the hip socket here. Try to get your pinky toe towards the floor and then circle back and around. Try to move that leg just a little bit, but don't rock your hips from side to side. Reverse the circles. Try to get your pinky toe as close to the floor as you can for 3. Sit up tall. Scoop the belly for 2. And on 1, flex the feet back where we started. Bend your knees, place your feet flat. Scoot your butt towards your heels so you have some space behind you. And we're going to start to go into some articulations. Grabbing onto the front of the shins, I want you to take a nice big inhale. We're fist distance between the feet. As you exhale, you're going to scoop the belly and just round backwards, pushing your hands onto your shins. You're really scooping, but you feel a nice stretch in your back. And then sit up nice and tall. Use your hands on your shins to give you leverage. Scoop and exhale, eyes to the tummy, and then sit all the way back up. Try to really curl the pelvis under as you go down, and then come right back up. Bring the hands to the back of the thigh if you would like to add more range of motion and try to go back a little further. And then scoop the belly and come right back up. Use your hands a little bit on those thighs to give you some leverage for the first few. Just warming up that tummy a little bit. If you want to add more challenge from there, arms reach out in front. Or hands can even come across the chest. Can you add more range of motion? Let's do a couple more here, keeping your shoulders down away from those ears. And exhale to come up. Try not to let your feet move. Let's take 8 slow counts to go all the way down. On the next one, scoop the belly, go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lengthen your legs and your arms. Take a big good morning stretch, scooping that belly. And then hug the knees into the chest, gently rocking from side to side. Alrighty, we're going right into the 100s. Tabletop legs, arms come by your side. Start to pump the arms. This would be your most basic variation, but if you want to add challenge today, curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. Look to the tummy. Try to make 6 to 8 inch pumps with your arms. And if you want to challenge yourself from here, extend your legs to the ceiling or 45 degrees and continue to pump. If your legs are long, find Pilates stance. Point the toes away. Eyes to the tummy, eyes to the thighs. Let's go for 3 more breaths. In for 5 and out for 5. 2 more breaths. In for 5, shoulders back and out for 5. Reach the arms long, big pumps. 1 more breath. In for 5. And exhale out for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. If your legs are long, lower the upper body down and see if you can lower long legs down to the mat. If not, just find yourself all the way lying down on the floor for single leg circle. Arms are going to stay by your side. Flex the left foot. Point the right foot. Take your right leg straight up towards the ceiling. Slight bit of external rotation for single leg circle. Cross the leg over the midline, down, around, and right back to the ceiling. Try not to let your leg escape your mat space, so don't open so wide that your left heel or your left foot is moving on the mat. Try to pretend you're standing and doing this exercise. On the next circle, reverse. Inhale, start the circle. Exhale to finish it. As you're going along, shoulders are back. Press the arms down for a nice base of support. Don't go so far that I see under that butt cheek. Keep it down. 1 more here. Stop your leg up towards the ceiling. Point and flex that right foot. Make sure it's coming from the ankle joint for 3 and for 2. And on 1, flex both feet. Scoop the belly and lower a straight leg as long away from you as you can. You should actually feel like your right leg is longer than your left here. Keep the right foot flexed. Point the left. Arms back down by your side if you did any adjustments. Leg goes up. Externally rotate for single leg circle. Inhale, cross. Exhale, up and around. Inhale, cross. Exhale, up and around. Once scoop that tummy. And for 1, stop your leg at the ceiling, go back parallel and point and flex. Make sure your right foot is flexed. It should still feel nice and long. And then flex your left foot, scoop the belly, and lower the legs so that your legs are now the same length. Very good. Point your toes. Pull your right knee in towards your chest. Give yourself a little stretch. Maybe a little rock through that lower back. We're going to go into your ab series. So for some reason, curling the head, neck, and shoulders up is not in your practice today. You leave the head, neck, and shoulders down. Join us with the choreography. When you're ready, curl the head, neck, and shoulders up if that's available to you. See if you can bring your right hand to your ankle and your left hand to your knee. Lift the left leg halfway and start to switch the legs, alternating the hand position. So right hand to the right ankle when the right leg is in. Left hand to the left ankle when the left leg is in. Continue. Try to reach your legs to the same spot on the wall ahead of you, keeping your lower back pressing down into the mat. Eyes to the tummy, shoulders down. Try to bring the heart a little closer to the legs for 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. On 1, hug both knees in and take a rest. Rock a little side to side. We're going in order today. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders up if that's in your practice, holding on to both shins for double leg stretch. Inhale, reach the arms right by the ears and the legs out. Circle the arms, hug the knees. Inhale, reach, and exhale, circle. If that's too much, reach the arms and the legs in the same direction instead. Otherwise, if you're circling, don't let the arms take you down. I want you to stay lifted. Biceps by the ears. Only lower the legs as far as you can without arching for 3, and for 2, and for 1. Hug the knees. Let's take a rest. Rock from side to side. Both legs up towards the ceiling. Point and flex. Hold behind the calves or thighs. Open up the backs of those legs. Point the toes. Pull the right leg towards you. Grab the calf. Lower the left leg halfway. If it's in your practice to curl up, start to switch your legs. And switch. And switch. Single straight leg stretch. Try to keep the toes pointed, and as you pull behind the calf or the thigh, I want you to give a little pulse with that top leg, but try to do it more from the abs than you are from the hands. Try to keep your heart lifted and the eyes to the thighs for 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. On 1, both legs up, lower down. Hold behind the calves or thighs, point and flex the feet again for 3, and for 2. On 1, flex the feet and hold. Go to Pilates stance, heels together, toes apart. Hands come behind the head. If it's in your practice to curl up, do so. Keep your elbows in your peripheral as you lower both legs and lift for double straight leg stretch. Inhale down, exhale up. Only go as far as you can without arching your back. Keep the feet in Pilates stance modifications, bend the knees a little bit. Let's go for 4 more here. Keep the eyes to the thighs. And 3, and 2, and 1. Legs up, take a rest. Ooh, rock from side to side. Good job, friends. Let's finish off with the crisscross. Hands back behind the head if you can. Interlace those fingers. Make sure your elbows stay in your peripheral vision. Curl on up. Opposite elbow to opposite knee. And switch. And switch. If it's not your practice to curl up, go back to single leg stretch. Try to be precise with your hand placement. If you're twisting, I want you to take your armpit up and over towards your knee rather than your elbow. Keep your elbows in your peripheral. Look back towards them as you go for 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Lower down. Take a little rest. Rock from side to side. Lengthen your legs out nice and long on the mat. Open them about fist distance and send your arms to the ceiling. We're going to do a roll up. The first one of the day is the hardest, so if you need a reprieve, just bend your knees and give yourself a little help. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, chin to chest, and roll the spine up until you're sitting nice and tall for spine stretch. Arms are out nice and long. Open your feet about as wide as your own mat space. Make sure you're still sitting on your sits bones just like we were for our warm-up. From here, keep your pelvis right where it is, and scoop it round for a nice spine stretch through that upper back. And then sit up nice and tall, shoulders away from the ears. As you scoop, imagine someone's lassoing you around the waist, gaze between your knees, and then stack the spine right back up. Let's do that a few times. Notice that I'm not rocking the pelvis back, nor am I just hinging. Unless you have osteoporosis or a disc issue, you're allowed to hinge. I want you to really round that spine. You're going up and over a big beach ball. Let's do 3 more here. Can you get your ears by your biceps? And for 2, press down through those heels. See if you can lengthen out your legs. If not, soften the knees. 1 more here. Take a spine stretch and hold. Can you grab your toes? If so, give yourself a little back to your right hand. Take your left pinky finger to your right pinky toe. Aim your ear over your knee. It's trying to tell you a secret. Come all the way up, untwist. Take your gaze to your back hand. Take your front hand to your opposite pinky foot or pinky toe. And come all the way up. And untwist. Palms stay facing the floor. Exhale, scoop and round. And come all the way up. Try not to let the arms go down to the floor too much. Try to reach the arms away from each other. And come up. Try to notice if your sits bones are rocking and anchor your heels and your butt cheeks a little heavier to the mat. Let's do one more to each side. Twist to the right. Left pinky finger, right pinky toe. All the way up, other side. Exhale as you dive forward. Here over the knee. Come up and take a rest. Bend your knees, place your feet on the mat, and scoot your butt to your seat. All right, so we're going to go into rolling like a ball. If rolling is not in your practice today, you're just going to balance, or you can go back to any of the last exercises that you did enjoy. From here, I want you to point your toes so that they're resting on the floor and grab your shins. If you can bring your legs together, cool. I'm a little jealous of you, but try to bring your legs as close together as you can, and bring your nose towards your knees as much as you can, and then lift up those toes and try to balance on your sits bones. That's why this is my least favorite exercise in math. From here, we're going to rock back to the shoulder blades and rock right back up, balance on the sits bones. Try not to let the legs kick away from your butt. Scoop the belly, rock back, and come right back up. Whoop, try not to let your feet hit the floor. Try not to let your head hit the floor. We're massaging our spine. Keep your gaze to your tummy and your nose as close to your knees as you can. Let's go for 3 more here. Inhale, exhale to come up. It's here to help you. And for 2. And for 1. And come up and balance. If you can continue to balance, stay there. If you need a reprieve, tap your toes just to the mat. Let's go back a little. From here, keeping your hands on your ankles, you're going to extend your right leg out and then bring those toes back to touch. They can either rest on the mat, okay, or you can balance on your sits bones and leave both toes off the mat. Okay? If you're going to do that, try not to rock backwards. That's harder. Let's go 5 more seconds here, alternating the legs for 3. And for 2. On 1, right leg out. Left leg out, we hold. Whoop. From here, we rock back to the shoulder blades and rock back up for open leg rocker. If you don't like it, go back to rolling like a ball. Inhale, exhale to come up. It's here to help you. Whoop. Try not to let your feet hit the floor. This is also my least favorite exercise in Pilates. Try to balance and lift your heart to those legs. Don't let your legs go wider than your mat space. Let's do one more here. Inhale back. Exhale, come up and hold. Bring the legs together. Reach your arms. Find brief teaser. Lower the legs down and stretch over and take a little hamstring love. Scoop the belly. Pull the toes. Very good. All right, flipping on to our right side. All right, coming on to your right side, you have a couple options here. You can prop yourself up on the forearm, which is the option I'm personally going to take today. If that feels too funky for your shoulder at any time, you can lower down, bringing your head into your hands, or you can lie all the way flat and down on the mat space. But I want you to line up the back of your body with your mat, fist distance between your butt and your shoulders. From here, flex your feet and try to stack your hips and your feet right on top of each other. From here, start to lift and lower. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Now, as you lift and lower, I want you to think about single leg circle when we were lowering that leg to transition. I really want you to reach that top leg away from you. Notice that my top leg is actually longer than my bottom leg because I'm really trying to reach it. That's also going to help you lift your bottom oblique. Your top hand has a couple options as well. Hand can be on the hip. It's kind of nice to help you balance. Hand can be behind the head. That's Joe's favorite. Hand can come on the mat. Or hold up that bottom oblique. Give yourself a little love there. Let's go for 3 more. Exhale, lower slower than you lift. And for 2. And for 1, lower down in line with your hip and hold. Look down and make sure that you're still stacked up. You haven't rocked backwards. And start to kick that leg forward and back. Positioning that top hand if you need a little balance on the mat in front of you. But again, hand behind the head will be your hardest variation. Pressing down through the bottom forearm if you happen to be on it. If you're lying down, you're good to go. Let's go for 3 more here. Inhale, kick. Exhale, go back. And for 2, try to relax the shoulders. And on 1, take the leg back behind you and hold. Point the toe and lower and lift the leg behind you. You're squeezing the inner thighs. You're not worried about whether your foot hits the floor or not. Now look to your hips. Try not to rock backwards. Try to stay stacked. You should always feel like your top hip is rolling forward slightly. For 3 more. And for 2, lower slower than you lifted. One more here, lift that leg all the way up. Bend the knee and place the foot on the inside of your thigh. Squeeze the legs together, and we do it again. Leg kicks up, put the foot on the inside of the thigh and slide it down. Take a big inhale to lift, and as you exhale, lift your bottom oblique and stretch your top leg longer than your bottom leg. Let's go for one more here. Inhale, kick up, and exhale to slide all the way down. Now, if you're on your form, I want you to come all the way down, either propping your head up or lying on the floor. Stack your feet up together and bring them a little bit forward of you to the front corner of your mat if you're not already there. Top hand on the mat in front of you for both legs to lift and lower. Now, this is more oblique work than hip work. As you lift those legs and lower, I want you to feel that bottom oblique trying to lift up and down. Now, as you do this, you're going to want to rock backwards. I want you to keep that top hip forward for 4 more. And 3. And 2. On 1, lift up, hold, go for a walk for 10. Woo! And 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Hold up that bottom oblique. 3, 2, and on 1, legs together, lower them down, and take a rest. Line yourself all the way down, take your top leg, bend it behind you so you can grab your foot. Take a little thigh stretch by stacking your knees on top of each other and push your butt forward. Pull your heel to your seat. Feel a nice stretch in the quad. For 3, and 2, and 1, and rest. Very good job. We're flipping onto our bellies for double leg kicks. Some of you guys don't know this exercise. If you want to watch me do it a few times before you go, that's totally cool because it's a little bit of choreography. I want you to lie down on your belly, right cheek on the mat, feet together, legs lengthened. Bring your hands behind you and try to interlace your fingers. If not, no big deal. Just rest them on your back as close to your ribs as you can and just lay there. Let your elbows fall to the floor. Now, as we do this work, we're going to switch the head position and for each rep. So from here, you're going to take a nice big kick to your butt 2 times, pointing the feet. 1, 2, lengthen the legs off the mat, lengthen the arms, lift the chest, and look forward. Now, as we lower down, bring the hands to the ribs, kick the butt, and lower the left cheek at the same time. Kick, kick, and extend up. Don't look higher than the edge of your mat. Hands to the ribs, kick, kick. When you come down, let your elbows rest on the mat. Alternating where you're looking. Try to keep the legs lifted off the mat space. Let's do 1 more to each side. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, come up, hold. And lower all the way down to rest. Let's flip on our other side to do side lying leg work. I'm going to flip around so you guys can still see my front. Oh, I'm going to grab a drink. Okay. All right, line your left side for me, friends. Same way you did before. So stack yourself up on the hips, feet together, forearm down if that's what you were doing, otherwise prop your head up. Start to lift and lower that top leg. Notice that one side's going to feel a little bit funkier than the other. Tendency is we have one hip that we favor, one leg we favor more than the other, but try to do the same thing here that you did on the other leg. As you reach your top leg longer than your bottom leg, lower it slower than you lift it. Top hands wherever you want for challenge. On the hips will be the most, will be helpful. Hands behind the head will be the hardest. Hand on the mat will be super helpful. Or lift up that bottom oblique. Mine needed a little help there. Let's go for 3 more. But when I did that, I actually feel my butt more. And for 2. And for 1, lower the leg in line with the hip. Kick it forward and back. Oop, my wall's in my way. Forward and back. As you do this, try not to rock the hips. Try to keep the shoulders nice and stacked. Lift that bottom oblique up and away from the floor as much as you can for 3. And for 2. Ooh, this oblique does not want to work today. 1 more, reach the leg back, hold, point the foot for lowers and lifts to the back. As you lower and lift to the back, roll that top shoulder back. Try to reach the thighs, or try to squeeze the thighs together rather than letting your foot hit the floor. If it hits the foot, cool. If it doesn't, no big deal. Let's go for 3 more. And for 2. And for 1, kick that leg all the way up. Stamp your foot on the inside of your thigh and slide your legs together. Point the foot, kick up, put it on the thigh, and pull or reach it away. Inhale, lift. Use your exhale to lift that bottom oblique as you stretch the leg for 3 more. And for 2. And for 1. And take it all the way out to rest. Very good job. Coming lie all the way on your arm. Position your feet a little bit more towards the front corner of your mat if you're not already there. From here, you're gonna lift and lower both legs, up and down. Try not to let your top leg go behind or forward of your bottom. Try to imagine your bottom leg is actually helping to lift your top leg. Reach them away from you. Try to reach your top longer than your bottom. Try to keep that bottom oblique lifted off that mat. Let's go for 3 more. And for 2. Ooh, I need help on this side. And 1, lift up, hold, and go for a walk. And switch, and switch, and switch. Try to keep the belly pulled in. Try to use that top hand as least as amount as you can. Just rest the fingertips on the floor if you need it. For 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and lower all the way on and down. Flip onto your bellies and then come up onto the knees. Take a quick child's pose by sitting back onto the heels. Reach your arms nice and long and just sink into the stretch for a moment for 3. And for 2. And for 1, come all the way up onto the knees. If you have sensitive knees, you can do whatever exercise from the last variations we liked, but we're gonna stay kneeling today for thigh stretch. Try to open your feet in line with your sits bones, but bringing your feet to touch will be a nice modification. Hands on the hips to start. As you inhale, I want you to lean back. Try not to let your elbows go back behind you. Try to keep your spine nice and long and then come right back up. Inhale to lean back, and exhale to come forward. Try to bring your head over your shoulders, over your hips. Tendency is you like to come back, and then like right here, but I want you to get all the way up to where you almost feel like your feet are gonna leave off the floor. If you wanna add challenge, arms reach forward, palms face each other. Shoulders back, tummy's in. If you wanna add more challenge from there, as you lean back, lift the arms by the ears, and come right back up. Let's go 3 more here. Keep the gaze straight ahead. Don't look to the ceiling where your hands are. For 2. And on 1, can you hold it back there for a moment? Really squeeze those glutes, press the tops of the feet down for 3. And 2. And 1, come all the way up. And take a rest. Very good job. All right, flipping on to our side, let's bring ourselves into a Z-sit. Bring your left leg across the mat in front of you and keep your right leg off to the side. Let's stretch the side body a little bit. Bring your left hand onto the mat space and reach the right arm up and over. Inhale here, and exhale to come up. We're gonna stay on the same side today. And hand comes down, arm goes up and over as close to the ear as you can. Reach it long, try not to take away your own stretch. And come all the way up. Let's do 2 more here. Over you go. And up you go. Last one here, over you go, and you stay there. And you have a couple options. You can continue to throw through that stretch. You can add a twist, touch hand to hand, and then right back where you came from. Or, last and final option is your hips lift and lower back down. And they lift and lower back down. Again, if that's not in your practice, just twist, but try to stay in lateral flexion, or just do mermaid for 3. And for 2. Ooh, lost my top arm there. 1 more here. Lift up nice and high with those hips. If that's in your practice, reach the top arm back. Take a nice big stretch through that side body. Good. Lower the hips, and let's switch sides. Switch the legs. Nothing fancy in between. Right hand is this time going to come onto the mat. Left arm up and over. Try not to look down. Try to look straight ahead or up towards your top arm. Again, staying on the same side. Anchor your hips onto the mat. We have one hip that usually likes to come up a little more than the other. I'd rather you have less range of motion in your lateral flexion than trying to force more range of motion letting your hip lift. Think about lifting your oblique up and out of your hip socket, opening up the ribs. From here, let's take it over and hold. Top arm stays nice and long. From here, you have your options. You can continue with mermaid. You can twist, touch hand to hand, but stay in lateral flexion. If not, you can lift up those knees. Add in that option here. Lift the hips, balance, and lower back down. This stretch here, when you really squeeze your butt, we're trying to open up through the psoas muscle here, all the way into the hip. Let's go for 3 more if you're taking the hip lifts. If you're doing twist or mermaid, whatever feels good, for 2. On 1, lift up, try to hold, reach that top arm back, try to push that left hip to the ceiling. Inhale, and exhale to come all the way on and down. Very good job, friends. Let's turn and face the side, the edge of our mat. Legs out nice and long. Flex your feet, bring them tight together. Reach the arms out, and then lower your spine all the way down to the mat. 1 vertebrae at a time. From here, I want you to keep the feet together to start. We're going into roll-ups. Turn your palms to prepare. Exhale, the arms reach forward, think spine stretch. Reach your heels away from the crown of your head. You have a whole line of fascia that runs from your heel up the entire back of your body, and it finishes above your eyebrows. This is a really nice exercise to stretch it out. Eyes to the knees as you go over those legs. If you want to add challenge, open the legs wider. Inhale, prepare, exhale, come up, and round it on over. Let's do a couple more here. Shoulders roll back. Don't let the arms or the shoulders come up just because you're reaching long. One more here, come all the way up. Round over those legs. Take an extra stretch if you can grab your toes. And then stack your spine all the way on and out. Reach the arms out nice and long. We're going to take 8 slow counts like we did at the beginning of class to roll down, but this time with long legs. Modification, bend the knees. Take a big inhale. Exhale, look to the tummy, curl the pelvis, and roll down for 8, 7, 6, 5, shoulders back, 4, 4, 4. Notice if your feet are lifting, push those heels down for 3, and for 2, and for 1. Arms go back, red legs reach long, take a nice big good morning stretch. Arms circle by your side, bend the knees, and place the feet flat on the mat space. Try to line up your heels with your sits bones for me, about a fist distance away from or knees apart, and arms by the side for bridging. Take a nice big inhale. We're going to go flat spine first and lift up nice and high. Feel the glutes engage. Push all 10 toes down onto the floor, including your arms, and then lower the spine back down. Take an inhale to lift, and an exhale to lower. Now, we don't have a ball or anything in between the knees, and the knees are not touching, so they can't help each other. So try to push that big toe down as much as you can. Now, if it's in your practice to articulate, we're going to add that in. If you don't know, if you have osteoporosis or a disc issue, or herniation or something, you continue flat back. Otherwise, you can curl the pelvis and bone by bone by bone, peel the spine up and off the mat until you're balancing right on the tips of the shoulder blades. And then the ribs go down first. The pelvis is continuing to curl, curl, curl as the rest of the spine lowers. And then find neutral spine. Try not to stay in the tuck. Let's do a few more just like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale to lower. Reach those arms long by your side. And for 2. And down. Try to feel each vertebrae. Give it a little massage. Say hello to each one of those suckers. One more here. Lift up nice and high and stay there. From here, the hips go halfway down and all the way up. Halfway down and all the way up. Everybody's taking now a flat spine. We're not articulating down. The ribs are staying slightly off the mat. Press all 10 toes into the floor. Press the arms down. If you want a little bit of challenge, arms go towards the ceiling. Palms face each other. Keep your shoulders, though, protracted onto the mat space for 3. And for 2. Eyes to the hands. And on 1, lift up, hold. Arms come down by the side if they're lifted. Inhale at the top of your bridge. And exhale to melt your spine all the way down. Squeeze your legs nice and tight together for me. Press the arms down. We're going to take it into Joe's version of bridging. I want you to lift your hips up nice and high and stay there. Try to keep the legs connected. Feeling the midline of your body, I really want you to connect to that as we continue through this exercise. Let's lower back down. Let's just do 2 more like that. Really trying to squeeze those legs together. If you cannot keep the legs together, no big deal, but you still need to imagine that you're hugging your midline. And down. Let's do 1 more here. Lift up, hold. From here, you're going to take your right leg, pull it into tabletop. You have 2 options. You can tap the toe down and stay right there. Other option would be Joe's variation. Leg goes straight up, flex the foot. You lower the right leg till the knees touch. That's exactly why I wanted you to hug the midline. Lift it up. Lower it down. Can you point to lift, but add range of motion each time. Let's actually do a few more than Joe did. Let's do 2 more here. Usually did 3, we're going to do 5. And last one here, take your leg up towards the ceiling. Hold. Flex the foot, put it back on the mat. Inhale here, legs back together. Exhale, lower down for a rest. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, boost it up. Left leg to tabletop, either toe tap or full variation. Flex that foot. Lower knee to knee, they should touch. Lift it up. Lower the knee a little further. If you can, slide your leg along your other one. Press the arms down as your right big toe pressing to the floor. Let's do 1 more here. Inhale, lower. Exhale, kick it up. Place the foot back on the mat. The legs should be back together. Inhale at the top. And exhale to lower the spine on down. Very good job. Hug the knees. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Pull in for piriformis stretch. Flex the feet here to protect the knees. Options to deepen your stretch. Rock side to side. Curl the head up. maybe add in hamstring stretch by straightening the left leg. Hold for 3. And for 2. And on 1, let's do the other side. Left ankle over the right knee, pull it in. Hold on behind the calf, not your shin, or your thigh, not your shin for me. Curl up if that helps you. Stay down if it doesn't. Continue to scoop your belly, flex your feet to protect your knees. And if you want to add extra hamstring stretch, now's the time. Hold for 3. And for 2. And for 1. And lower all the way on and down. So we are going to go into the rollover today. If for some reason rolling your legs over your face is not in your practice, if you have osteoporosis or herniation, you're going to continue to do whatever variation you would like. I suggest double leg lowers. From here, if you're going to go into full rollover, legs go up towards the ceiling, arms by the side. Pilates stance, your feet lower them halfway down. Inhale. Exhale the legs up and over. Hold. Legs are parallel to the floor. Don't let them rest on your face. And then as you roll down 1 vertebrae at a time, feel like that bridging sensation as you come down, back to where you started. Inhale, lower halfway down. Use your exhale to get up and over. And then lower the spine, scoop that belly. Try to articulate your spine like you did for bridging. Don't let your shoulders or your head come off the mat. If that feels like it's too much, just go to double straight leg lowers, but continue at your own pace. If you want to add a little challenge, let's take it into Joe's traditional exercise. Inhale, lower down, exhale, up and over, hold. Flex the feet, open the legs in line with your shoulders. Roll the spine down with the legs open. Once your butt's down, close the legs, and do it again, up and over. Flex the feet open. Scoop the belly. Shoulders down, head down. And articulate down. Let's do 1 more here. Legs together, up and over. Flex the feet. Open them. And lower the spine down. 1 vertebrae at a time. Hugging the knees in and rocking side to side. All right. From here, you're going to lengthen your legs out nice and long. Arms up to the ceiling and do a roll up to sit you up. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, come all the way up. And round over your legs to stretch. Gaze to your tummy or your knees. Let the head go for 3. And for 2. And on 1, sit up nice and tall, bringing your hands back behind you. Scoot back a little bit. Okay, going into leg pull back. If you have wrist issues, you're welcome to do this on your forearms. It's just going to be a slightly different range of motion. If you don't like this exercise, anything from the ab series would be a good thing for you to do. Or hold a plank. From here, place your hands on the mat, either fingertips out to the side or away from you. Try not to let your hands face each other. From here, point the toes, keep them together, and you're gonna boost your butt up as your feet press onto the floor in a point, and then lower your butt down. If that's hard enough work for you to hold that plank, inhale up, and exhale down. This is all you're gonna do, okay? If you need a break on the forearms, this is less range of motion. As you do this, keep the thighs squeezing tight, and keep your gaze to your feet for 3 more. And for 2. The last one, you're going to take it up and hold it there. I want you to take your right leg up, flex it, lower it back down. Point the left foot up, flex it, and lower it back down. Try to look to where you're lifting the toe and keep your gaze there. Inhale up, exhale lower. 1 more to each side. Last one here, and lower your butt down. Shake out the wrists a little bit. Any stretch there that feels good for you. There's a lot of pressure on those wrists. Good job. And then flip over onto your tummy for me. And let's do a little swan. All right, bring your hands right underneath the mat space if you can. Open your feet as much as feels good, but no wider than your mat. Press the tops of your feet into the floor. From here, look to the edge of the mat. Press the hands into the mat and lift the heart. Reach the heart forward rather than trying to straighten your arms. And then lower the spine all the way down. If you want to do this and it bothers your shoulders, open your hands wider. Let the collarbones be wide. And lower back down. As you lift, your eyes go forward, your collarbones, like you're trying to roll a marble forward with your nose. And then scoop the belly lower back down. Do a couple more here, keeping your pubic bone pressed into the mat. Keep the top of your feet pressed into the mat. 1 more here, we're going to take like chest expansion. Come up and hold. Shoulders back, heart proud. Lift the tummy. Look to the right. Look to the left. Look straight ahead, lower down. Let's do that 1 more time. Inhale, press up, exhale, hold. Look to the left. Scoop belly. Look to the right. And lower all the way on and down. a little kitty cat tail. Lift your tail back there for 3. And for 2. And for 1, find a neutral spine. So from here, we're going to take it into a little bird dog exercise to start. You're going to send the right arm forward, the left leg back, and hold. From here, I want you to square that left hip down. Lift the tummy up and try to lengthen through the fingers and the heel. Place it back down, do the other side. Left arm forward, right leg back. Square the right hip, lift the tummy, shoulders back. And switch. So this would be a great modification if you feel like when we progress, it's too much. Okay? And switch. The last few things we're going to do are a little wristy. We're going to do a little planking. You're welcome to try it on your forearms. Just don't bring your hands together. Remember that you keep your forearms nice and parallel. On the last one here, come back to your your quadruped position and hold. I want you to walk your feet back and find a plank. Open the feet fist distance and just hold. Reach the crown of the head away from the heels. Push down into your earth like you're holding up the world today. Curl the pelvis under, scoop the belly, and try to lengthen through the crown of your head as you push your heels away. Hold for 3. Hold for 2. Hold for 1. Lower the knees, sit back, roll out your wrists. Good job, everybody. You know we're taking it one step further. So if you want to go back to bird dog or hold a plank, totally fine, but we're actually going to do leg pull front today, full variation. So bring your hands onto the mat space. Keep your feet together this time. And walk back to find plank. Once you're in plank, you're going to lift your right foot up and point. Notice that as I shift forward and back, I'm pushing through my ankle like we practiced for our warm-up. Point the left foot, shift forward and back like you're pointing the right foot on the floor, and bring it back. Shifting forward and back ever so slightly without letting your butt lift. Keep that pelvis curled underneath of you. Keep your gaze on the floor. One more to each side. Left leg lifts. And come down. Right leg, if you're a little uneven, no big deal. And come all the way down and sit back. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, roll your spine all the way on and up. Good job. All right, turn to face the front of the mat or wherever feels comfortable for you. Come back to your crisscross position or however feels nice and comfortable for you to sit, and rest your hands back on your knees. I want you to bring your ear to your right shoulder and then your ear to your left shoulder. Letting your head just go a little from side to side. You can have your eyes opened or closed. Try to relax the shoulder and reconnect to your breath. So just like we do lateral flexion in mermaid, inhale through the center and exhale up and over. Try to keep your arms super loosey-goosey and still. One more over to the left, hold. And this time we're going to circle it around, chin to chest, right ear to the right shoulder, and back up. Right ear to the right shoulder, don't let the arms move, don't let the ribs move. Isolate the head, and come up. One more each direction, left ear, left shoulder, circle it around, chin to chest, right ear to the right shoulder, come back up. One more here, take it over, down and around. And right back and up. Very good job. Sweeping your arms up. Grab your right wrist and reach up and over for a nice stretch. Try to take your gaze up underneath your right armpit if that feels good. And push your right butt cheek down into the floor. Come up and switch sides. Right hand to the left wrist. Up and over you go. Look under your left armpit this time. Try to take your left butt cheek heavier to the mat. And come all the way on and up. Turning onto the hands and the knees. Coming into downward dog, or in Pilates we call it the elephant. Lift up your heels, or lift up those knees and push your heels to the floor. Instead of trying to be round though, like elephant on the reformer, I want you to flatten your back. Try to lay your heart towards your thighs and let your heels go as close to the mat as you can. They don't have to touch. If you're not feeling a stretch in your calves, walk your hands in a little bit to feel it deeper. Let your head hang for 3. And for 2, start to pedal out the legs on 1 for 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. On 1, both heels down. Soften the knees and start to walk your hands in towards your feet and hang like a rag doll. Nod your head a little yes and no. Scoop the belly and roll the spine up 1 vertebrae at a time, standing nice and tall. Sweep your arms up overhead. Palms face away from you. Sorry guys, you can't see me, but my arms are up overhead. Feet are nice and parallel. We're rolling down lower the heels, and stand tall. One more in this direction, heels lift, bend the knees, heels go down, stand up tall. We reverse, bend the knees, lift the heels, stand up taller than when you walked in or woke up this morning. Heels down, bend the knees, heels lift, and up. Two more, down, squat, heels lift, and up. One more here, and squat. Heels lift, come up and find your balance. Holding it here for 5. If you can bring your arms up overhead, go ahead for 4. And for 3. And for 2. And on 1. Heels lower slowly down. Arms lower slowly down. And you're finished. Thank you, guys. There's some good old-fashioned mat there for you. Nothing too fancy. Thank you for coming. Friday we're doing standing mat again, so if you missed that, I highly suggest you come. And if you've done it before, just do it again, because practice makes perfect. So thanks for coming.
Leslie, thank you.
You're welcome. If you have any questions, you can just put it in the chat.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.